The EU is negotiating the most far-reaching political and economic agreement with the Eastern Partnership countries, and Georgia is among them. The progress since second half of 2012 was that the negotiations on association agreement accelerated, and the main chapters of the agreement have been concluded by the March of this year. However, the technical parts as well as deep and comprehensive free trade agreement parts remains to be finalized. The expectations among Georgian political elite is very high that the association agreement will be initialed at the Vilnius summit in November 2013. However, this will largely depend on the political situation and the reform agenda of the Georgian government, how much they will advance on that. From the EU's part, the main challenge will remain whether the agreement is initialed or not, whether it's signed or not at a later stage, to remain engaged in the reform process with Georgian government, and that initialing doesn't put an end to the reform process. EU remains the crucial actor for Georgia in this regard. In judicial and criminal justice reform, EU has been instrumental, have been supporting Georgia throughout these years. Since 2008, it provided 34 million for criminal justice reform and experts at the Ministry of Justice. So it will remain crucial that EU remains engaged in reform process in Georgia. Additionally, Stefan Füle and Catherine Ashton nominated Thomas Hammerberg as EU representative for judicial and constitutional reforms and human rights to advise the government of Georgia. In 2003, after the Rose Revolution government, which were young and pro-European, made European integration a priority for Georgia. However, the problem remained that the rhetoric never matched the actual reform agenda that the government implemented. In October 2012, the historic event happened in Georgia, that the transfer of power for the first time in the history of independent Georgia happened through ballot and not through the street protest. Now this historic democratic transfer of power needs fortification through a number of reforms. Among the pressing reforms are judicial reform, depolitization of the public administration, and elite corruption, which is one of the revelations of the bad governance.